if you receive one of the lists that I have posted, then you have an idea of what we're going to be talking about in this. If you haven't received it, let me share my screen and I can show you just what we're going to be covering here. So this is a live free seminar event, how to record your life story on video. And it's by myself. I'm a retired TV reporter. My name is Brian Hill. I've worked mostly on CBS affiliates over the years. And in my retirement, I interview people about their life stories, and we leave it as a gift for future generations. So I have a question for you. If you're a part of a family, for example, the children, have you had your parents record their life story? If you have, that's great. If you haven't, do it before they decline. What is the best time? Now is the best time. They'll never be any better than they are now. For parents, I've got a question. Your life story is a great gift for current loved ones and future generations. So take an hour, that's all it should take, and record it yourself or have someone record it for you, or you can have a professional record it for you. Authors, have you never completed that book about your life? Have you never even got started? You're not alone. There are many people in that situation. So here's the solution. Your life story can be automatically, after the interview, turned into text. It can be sent to you, and you can then edit it on a word processor, and you've got the beginning of your life story. Caregivers. This is a great caregiver project for the person that you care for. This could be the perfect time for them. They have very few other distractions now because perhaps they're immobile and they're at home or they're bedridden. So this is an ideal opportunity for you to, well, record their life story. You're with them, and it's a wonderful gift for their families. Memory therapy. It captures memories before they fade away. It's very useful to review the video for memory therapy as well. So think of it as a way of capturing wonderful stories about your family, telling people about it, and then you can play it back later to help reconnect synapses in the brain. Some people feel it's very useful to review the video for memory therapy. It's intergenerational. You can have a child interview a senior about their life. Now, on StoryCorps and National Public Radio, this is encouraged to have a child interview a senior. I advocate it as well for video interviews like we do. Why? Because when you're talking to an adult, a senior tends to, well, hop around. They tend to use short forms and make assumptions that, of course, you know about the problems we had back in World War I with something. Well, that's not necessarily the case. And when you have a child, the senior explains it all to them, assuming that they know nothing. And that applies very well for future generations who may know nothing about the context of the story that you're telling them. So it's important to explain things fully. And if a child is there, that encourages you to do so. Let me go back to my list. If you're an activity director in a seniors facility, this is an arts program project. Add it to your arts program. All you need to do is to say, interview a friend in their room. Take your phone, interview a friend. We'll send you a list of questions you can ask. We'll show you how you can set it up. This is a great gift for their family, and you can record them telling their life story, and you can be the one to hold the camera or ask the questions. As a group activity, you can just say, pick a partner out. Let's spread out in this room and let's interview each other on our smartphones. And won't this make a great gift for your loved ones at Christmas? So you can see that it has lots of applications. This is a how-to seminar on Zoom. It's a live tutorial by me. I'm a retired TV reporter for various CBS News affiliates. And I cover two methods, how to do it yourself or how to have a professional interviewer record your life story on Zoom from the comfort of your own home. And you can get free items. If you register for this, just send me your email address. You can get 2 free items. You can get emailed a free interview to-do list and also get my list of some favorite questions to ask. All you need to do is record, or rather email, RecordOurSeniors@gmail.com. And I'll give you that email address a little later there too. RecordOurSeniors. So here we go. Option number one in this live seminar is the do-it-yourself interview and how to do it. Well, I have mentioned before that if you can get a loved one to do it, for example, your husband or your wife, that's good. But getting a child to do it is perhaps even better, because those childlike questions can be endearing and they can be revealing, and you have a tendency to explain everything to a child. If you're a caregiver in a seniors facility, you can interview somebody. If you're a resident in a seniors facility, you can get somebody to interview you. What do you do? How do you set up to record your own life story video? Using your smartphone or a laptop computer? Well, first of all, you want a head and shoulders shot. And what is a head and shoulders shot? Well, let me show you. Basically, this is a head and shoulders shot. You see your head, you see your shoulders down to about your armpits. You don't want something that's too close, and you don't want something that's too far away. But a nice head and shoulders shot is the goal. Well, how do you get to that head and shoulders shot? Well, you might want to use the kitchen counter and some books. Let me show you. For example, a couple of books propped up, and you take your phone and you go to the icon that's the picture of the camera. You touch that. You go over to the video portion of it, and you hit the little icon up here, which is the selfie icon. And then there I am. And then you lean your smartphone up against the books, and you have a head and shoulder shot, and you just push the button here. And when those numbers start going around at the top of the screen, 3, 4, 5, you know that you are now recording. It's as simple as that. When you're finished, you just push that button again, and you're done. It's always good to do a test recording too, so you can play that back and see if it's working properly. You know that you are now recording. It's as simple as that. When you're finished, you just push that button again. So it did work. That's nice. And another technique is to use a laptop. This laptop's all black, but hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. You can just rest the phone against the laptop, and you've got that head and shoulder shot working for you. Can you see that okay, Ed?
Yeah.
Okay. And so this way you can adjust the laptop screen, and you're adjusting your smartphone at the same time. And then once again, you just push that button and look for the numbers to start rolling at the top of the screen. Remember, always good to do that. And do a test recording first to make sure everything's working. It's also good, and I would say it is mandatory, to plug in the phone that you're using. Plug it in and have it plugged in during the entire interview. Why? There's nothing worse than running out of power in the middle of your interview because you're working off the battery. If you do a half an hour interview, that's quite long. It's quite draining on the battery, and that can be a problem. Let me go back to my screen sharing. There we go. So we were talking about how do you set it up, the head and shoulder shot right here. You can prop the phone up on a kitchen counter, use 2 books or a laptop. I recommend you can sit in a kitchen chair, and if you sit in a kitchen chair, it's about the right height for the kitchen counter. You click that camera icon, you put the phone sideways, and that's an important thing to remember as well, putting the phone sideways. Then you'll get the proper aspect ratio when you play it back. You don't want it this way, you want it this way. That's good for watching it played back on a television set or on a computer screen or a smartphone. So make sure that you have it sideways. And okay, put phone sideways, and you click on the selfie mode, and you want to pick a quiet location. So if you're in a senior's residence, do it in your room. but not out in the corridor, for example, where people are walking by. It's a distraction. They might start talking to you, and that's not the goal. Put a sign on your door. Say, quiet please at recording. That's all you have to do. You can handwrite it and scotch tape it to your door temporarily. I mentioned plug in for power, don't use the battery. And also, you want to have a glass of water at both ends. So a nice big tall glass. I've already burned through half of it here, so you don't want a little glass, have a big glass. You'll see that on the Tonight Show or interviews on television. They always have a glass of something for the both the moderator and the guest to be able to use. Let's see, boink. You want to put your phone on silent mode. And how do you do that? Well, let's see. You have a little switch over in the corner of an iPhone, for example, which is right there. And when you click it, there will be a little bar that comes up and says ringer off or on silent mode right there. Or even better, you can just shut your phone off while you're doing the interview. You don't want people calling you or Facebook things beeping in while you're on your interview. And that's very easy to have happen. So make sure that you have that shut off. And you want to make sure that you have enough memory for about 30 minutes of video interview. I usually do 30 minutes to 45 minutes in an interview. You can use an egg timer and set it for 30 minutes. And here's something to note. 1 hour of video is about 8 gigabytes. All right, 8 GB. A half hour is half of that, 4 gigabytes. You want to look for about 8 gigabytes of space on your phone. That's in case your interview runs longer and you end up going closer to an hour instead of a half an hour. Now, how do you check your space? On an iPhone, you go to Settings, General, and iPhone Storage. So let me show you that. So you go to Settings, which is this icon right there. And then you go to, oops, that's not what I touched. You go to Settings, which is one that looks like the internal workings of a clock. It's gray. Boop. And then this screen will come up. And then you hit General, which is right there, General. And then you hit iPhone Storage. Blink. And give it a minute and it'll fill in and it will tell you up here what your storage situation is. On this one, it says 127 gigabytes of 512 gigabytes are used. So I only have, I've used 127, but I have 512 gigabytes. How many do I need? Let's go back and take a look. How many do I need? I need 8 gigabytes. So I have lots of space on that phone. That's the magic 8 gigabytes, not megabytes, but gigabytes, GB. So that's how you check it. So you want to ask great inspiring questions, and you want to ask your own questions, not just ones I send you or someone else sends you. You want to state your wisdom for future generations. How do you upload your life story to YouTube so relatives and others can see it years from now? Well, after your interview, you go to youtube.com, you can create an account for free, and then you hit the plus sign. That's how you upload something. And upload your video, give it a title, and then you have a choice. You can select public, so it can be searched and found in the future by future generations. I recommend that. Or you have the option for private, unlisted. That means only people given the link can see it. But that means future generations may miss out on it. How do you put that life story video on a USB thumb drive so you can present it as a gift for loved ones on birthdays or maybe holidays or maybe weddings? You just go to youtube.com on a computer, you click download on YouTube, and then you check in your download file on your computer. You plug in a USB drive, and then you just drop that MP4 video file into downloads that's sitting there in downloads onto your thumb drive. So I recommend that you register to get a worksheet emailed to you. This is the email address, RecordOurSeniors@gmail.com, and also you can get a free list of questions to ask. So option number 2 is to have a TV professional interview you. In this scenario, I do all the work. You're interviewed about your life remotely by me, a retired TV reporter, Brian Hill, or one of my associates, a retired TV reporter. I record you on a Zoom call from anywhere, right from the seniors facility, for example, in your own room. The video interview uses the camera in your own computer or your smartphone, so you don't need anything special. I then send you popular questions to review in advance that others have found useful. You can add your own. And then what's really good is as we talk, I can tell when you make a mistake, you can't remember somebody's name, you make a stumble, and I can edit out any of those mistakes. So that's a nice aspect of this. I can also add personal pictures to enhance what you discuss. For example, you talk about Uncle Fred, go to a picture of Uncle Fred, or that time that you performed at the Grand Ole Opry or something, and we can put a video in there or still pictures of that, or people that you've met over the years, or interesting people who've influenced your life. I do the upload of that video to YouTube for you so that relatives can find it in the future. Or you can only make it a private video just for family members. Recently, I interviewed someone in October, and they died in the middle of the summer. Having that YouTube video up there for people to type in his name and then find him was sensational. He was a teacher. He had many students. Over 4,000 people looked at that interview. What a great legacy he left behind. We thought we were doing it primarily for his children and his grandchildren, but it ended up having another application. His wife loved seeing it. She says, when I play back that video, it's like he's still here. So think about that application of doing your life story as well. So I do that transferring of the video to a thumb drive for you. And then you can present that video as a gift to loved one. It's a perfect gift for Christmas or birthdays or holidays or to give out at a wedding or when your will is read. You can just keep the thumb drive with that video with your will in your private papers with a note to your attorney to play it at the reading of the will. That may be the last time you have those people's attention. So you make the best of it. So there's more information about what we do at this website, brianhillonline.com. And to get on my schedule, if you want me to do the interview of you, to request a Zoom call, just record that address, RecordOurSeniors@gmail.com. Suggest a few dates that work for you. By the way, I have our next free seminar coming up Wednesday, June the 30th. Wednesday, June the 30th. And if you have someone that you want to have watch this, well, then that's a great opportunity for you to have them click in at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, June the 30th, and they can, I can send you that Zoom meeting link, and you can show them this presentation and get their buy-in on it too. We can do one person, or we can do a couple. It's also possible to do several people at the same time, but 2 people is a good maximum in terms of the audio and the video. So a husband and wife, 2 brothers, 2 friends. So you've got lots of possibilities.